Well, good morning and welcome to Friday. It is Friday. It is July the 29th, man. We are almost at the end of July. Can you believe it? It is almost August. And you know what happens in August for all you Georgia folks, it is the beginning of the defense of the national championship. It is football season, baby. So many things happen in August. Good morning, Miss Lynn. My name's Aaron Dwyer. If you're watching this later on YouTube, or you may not be know exactly what's going on here, my name is Aaron Dwyer. For all of you guys on Exit Realty Lake Country Nation or on YouTube, they may watch this later. Good morning, Brooke. I am one of the owners of Exit Realty Lake Country. My wife, Christy, and I own Exit Realty Lake Country in Georgia and Tennessee. But we've been doing this for, since November of last year, I guess, getting up in the morning, having these calls and just sharing and doing some cool things. But I guess everybody here knows the drill. If you're on here with me this morning live, tell me good morning. Put a comment on there. I'm trying to get this thing to refresh. Here we go. I gotcha. So Brooke and Lynn, I hope you guys are having a great morning so far. I hope you're up early and on your own terms. And Brooke, that Daisy didn't get you up crying, but I don't think that little baby girl ever cries. Good morning, Carrie. How are you? Good to see you. Yep, y'all know the drill. If you're here with me this morning, go ahead and let me know that you're here with a little good morning. We're gonna do some interactive stuff today. Yesterday was a really, really good day. Had a new agent in our Tennessee office. Did another call with a new agent yesterday. Hopefully we've got one down in Greensboro that's going to reach out to us pretty soon. Got a cool little thing in the mail that I'm going to share with you guys here in a little bit, but hopefully we'll have another good morning. I saw y'all, and I guess it may be just everybody deals with this, but these calls are like our morning, like our Wednesday meetings in Madison. They're not scripted. They're certainly usually 90% of the time, maybe 99% of the time, not prepared. I don't know what's going on, or don't know what I'm going to say. I just kind of let it happen as it happens. And I'll just tell you this morning, man, I'm feeling pretty inadequate to do this call, but we'll get through it. We'll have fun. We'll do it together. I may let one of y'all do the call this morning, but we'll get through it. We're going to have fun. We'll have a good time this morning. I saw a comment yesterday that you guys are enjoying these being up in the morning again and doing the call. So I appreciate that. I wish we could get our crowd growing again like we had before. We were having 20, 18, 19, 20 people on here. I wish we could do that, but it does happen. So cheers. You got your coffee in your hand this morning. Wake up. Let's get going. We've been talking about the last 2 or 3 days. We've sort of been talking about dreams and desires. And I wonder if Lynn, Brooke, there's somebody else on here, but they may be on the country. I wonder if there's something. Looks like it's just you and me, big dog. That may be. Let me look. There's somebody in the country right there. I'll jump over here on this other one. Let's see who is big dog. Let's see here. Y'all give me just 1 second. Identify yourself, Facebook user. Looks like it's just you and me, big dog. Who is that? Put your name in there, and that way I know who you are. Because I can't see your name on there. It just says Facebook user. So if you can put in there who you are, that'd be awesome. There we go. Bruce, you're on the Nation, dude? Yeah, Bruce is on Exit Realty Lake Country Nation. You got to get on the other one there, homie. You're supposed to be on the Agents of Exit Realty Lake Country with all the other cool kids. Because Carrie and Brooke and Lynn are on the other one. Carrie said, "So I'm heading to Choa to answer the donation line for Carathon." Oh my gosh, yeah, that right there will make you appreciate what you got. If that doesn't make you appreciate what you have, and who you are, I'm not sure anything would. No, I'm in Tennessee, so I don't think I get 95.5 unless I'm sure they've got an online presence, but I don't have that. So let's get rolling, man. I want to get rolling this morning. We've been talking about dreams and desires, and we talked about Bruce a little bit yesterday. And I don't know if you were here, Bruce. We talked about you yesterday. But we've been talking about. You just got to check the group that you're in. You should be in the other group, Agents of Exit Realty Lake Country. If you look at the top of that group page, Bruce, it says Exit Realty Lake Country Nation. So that's for everybody who's like affiliated or associated with Exit Realty Lake Country. It's not the private Agents of Exit Realty Lake Country page. So only Agents of Exit Realty Lake Country. It was all good. It was all good, dog. You were an example yesterday, and it was all good. Everything was wonderful. But you're right, Carrie. Nothing makes you appreciate what you have, or maybe what you are, or maybe the health that you have, the health of your children, the health of people around you, the life that you live. Nothing gives you a little more perspective, a greater perspective than dealing with other people's hardships. There's no doubt about that. 13 years as a police officer, man, I'm telling you that I've seen some wicked, bad, awful things in that little over a decade. It does make you appreciate all the fine things, all the wonderful things that we have, that we are, that we continue to be blessed with. So yeah, I'd be a crying mess on that thing here. Good luck. They wouldn't. No, man, just give me your money. I gotta go. But thank you for doing that. I know y'all find Carrie does a lot of work with CHOA. She does a lot of work with Children's Hospital of Atlanta, and that's something that means something to her. And part of being a leader, and part of what we're trying to build in this company individually with each one of you, and this leadership that each one of you have, especially the 4 or 5 that are on the call this morning. You guys certainly are. Have emerged as you've been leaders. You've led. Lynn leads. Life-changing sessions, life-changing events, life-changing travel. Lynn's like the Harriet Tubman of addiction. She's leading people through the dark tunnels from bondage to freedom, and Lynn's been doing that for years, and so she obviously is a leader. Brooke doesn't know she's a leader. Brooke doesn't realize it yet, but Brooke is growing into that. She's certainly a leader of her household, but she's growing into being a leader of much more than that. Obviously, Bruce has been in the forefront, and been a coach and been a teacher, led his household, he's been a leader in his church, leader in his community. He's done things his entire life that show his leadership skills. So we're building these leadership skills, and part of that is finding something that means something to you, finding something outside of your normal whatever it is that you do, and pouring your resources into it, pouring your effort into it, being a part of something bigger than you. That's part of leadership, man. That's part of doing that, and people follow by your example. I had a I hate to always bring up Jagger, but we were having this conversation last night after he played hockey last night, and we were in the car, and he was upset, and he was we got to get her one of those little bonnet things. Did you like that, Lynn, that you're leading people from bondage to freedom, that you're like the Harriet Tubman of addiction? I thought that was pretty good. I came up with that off the cuff. But Jagger got in the car last night, and he was upset because I smoked his legs the night before. Man, he was out in the, I told y'all he was out in the driveway doing sprints, around the street doing sprints, and lunges and weighted lunges and doing things to get stronger for hockey season. And so his legs were smoked. And so last night he went out and skated a 3-on-3 and it wasn't his best time. And he got in the car like super, super upset, like tears in his eyes, upset, like, dude, what is wrong with you? And he's like, I just didn't do good. I don't feel like he's a C personality, right? Jagger's a C. So everything has to be a certain way. It's got to be perfect or he doesn't like it. So if he feels like he doesn't perform well, then he starts blaming all the circumstances. How many of us do that? How many of us don't perform well? And then we start blaming all the outside influences. We blame everything else on the outside because our performance suffers. Because we haven't closed as many deals as we need to close, because we haven't made the money that we want to make. We start blaming the market, or we blame, I'm an Exit Realty Lake Country, or Aaron and Christy don't give me enough leads, or my husband doesn't like me, or my wife doesn't support me, or the dog's too loud, or my kids are too busy, I don't have time. And we start blaming all these outside influences. But at the end of the day, our performance solely rests on what we do or don't do. Our performance solely rests on the effort we give or the effort we don't give. And so when I looked at, and Jagger's in the car, he's got tears in his eyes. And I'm like, bud, here's the deal. It wasn't your best night. Your legs are smoked from the night before. I told you, you said your legs have been hurting all day long. It's all good. Everybody has an off day. I said, at the end of the day, Jagger, there was no Stanley Cup being awarded in there. It was just 3-on-3. It was just for fun. You're just playing with your buddies. You're just playing with your partners and your friends. Everybody's in there just giving each other crap. Let it go. I understand what he feels and wanting to be perfect and wanting to have every time he goes out, his performance be, everybody's looking at, this is the best performance ever. But I said, here's what leaders do. Leaders don't let their off days affect the people around them. Leaders don't let their off moments affect, and I'm talking to me, I guess, right now, because now I'm hearing what I'm saying to him. Leaders don't, you can't get that Captain C on your chest if you walk out of the rink pissed off because you didn't play well. You're not going to get the C on your chest if you walk out of the rink mad because you didn't play well, because you didn't perform well. You are not wearing a C on your chest, and you can't be a leader if you're walking out and all these people who are watching you and expecting you to be here if you're here. That's not what leaders do. Leaders accept what they've done. Leaders accept their role. Leaders accept their performance, and they move on. They move on to the next thing. So we finally took an hour to have this conversation with him before he finally started smiling again. And he looked at me and he goes, is my attitude better now? I said, do you think your attitude's better now? And he says, yeah. And I said, that's what we need to have. So leadership is not easy. And I've been praying leadership over Jagger since he was a baby. I prayed the same thing over Jagger every single night when I tuck him in the bed. I pray the same prayer over Jagger. It's a prayer of Jabez. I pray it over him. I've been praying over him since he was an infant, firstborn. I've been praying this prayer over him. And being a leader is one of the things that I'm praying for him. And because I know that leadership, the world needs leaders. The world needs more people to be leaders. We've got too many followers. We got people who put themselves in positions of authority who are not truly leaders. We have people who have positions of authority who have no leadership skills. They just have a position. So even at 10 years old, I'm trying to impress on him how important it is to be a leader, how important it is for the people around him, for his peers, for his teammates, for the kids that he runs with, how important it is for him to be an example, how important it is for him to walk like he's supposed to walk and talk like he's supposed to talk and act like he's supposed to act. And not that I'm trying to put too much pressure on him, but it's just who he is. It's just what he does. Leaders emerge. Lynn, Carrie, Bruce, Brooke, leaders emerge. Leadership finds you and you emerge into that position. It's what happens. I'm telling you, it's just what happens. And Sorry for that slurp. Part of leadership is performance. Part of leadership is past performance. Part of leadership is, do you have the experience to do what it needs to be done? That's part of leadership. So enough of that. We'll talk about some more stuff. I want to share with y'all this. I don't, if y'all remember, Christy and I are starting a marketing campaign. We're starting a marketing program where we're trying to connect Nashville to the Lake Country. Where we're trying to connect and take advantage of some of the people in Nashville, Brentwood, Franklin, sort of south of Nashville, the higher end area of Middle Tennessee, and just through some actions and activities and things like that, we're trying to connect Nashville to Lake Oconee, Lake Country. So we told y'all, I think I may have told y'all this story. I may not have. Let me walk over here. So our Mount Juliet office. We're in this magazine called Mount Juliet Lifestyle. So we've got a subscription to this Mount Juliet Lifestyles thing, and of course we have an ad inside front cover of the Mount Juliet Lifestyles magazine. There you go. Been in there for 4 or 5 months, and as a part of, or as a result of some of the things that we saw happening between Brentwood and Lake Oconee, some of the people that we were seeing that were moving to Lake Oconee, some of the people that were vacationing in Lake Oconee, we started kind of looking into what's this new interest in Lake Oconee. And I don't know if y'all remember this. Miranda Lambert, I guess it was 2021, is after the pandemic. Miranda Lambert started camping around the United States. Well, she ended up at Lake Oconee, and she put this big spread on a post about Lake Oconee and said, I'm fixing to show you, Alex, because I got it right here. Just got it in the mail. Dude, I'm going to tell you what, this magazine, the Brentwood magazine, is probably a quarter thicker than the Mount Juliet magazine. But Miranda Lambert started camping all over the United States. Well, she ended up at Lake Oconee as one of her stops, and she just was on social media raving about how wonderful Lake Oconee was, about the Ritz and how beautiful it was, and how she's going to come back and she's going to stay here and stay there. And you know, it's Nashville's a really tight community, even though it's big, it's a bigger city. It's a super tight community. So when somebody like Miranda Lambert starts talking about an area, that starts to funnel through this community, through Middle Tennessee. And I believe that a lot of what she said kind of got the ball rolling and started generating some interest down at Lake Oconee from the Nashville market. It's crazy how that works, but it's true. So this is the Brentwood Lifestyle magazine. So we're in this one now. So this Brentwood Lifestyle magazine goes out to about 4,000 really high-end, really affluent, average price point of these homes is probably upwards of in the 3 million area. I mean, there's a lot of money down there. So, Alex, this is page 34, and you can see right here that glare is pretty rough, but you see right there, Exit Realty Lake Country. I'm trying to get the glare off of it so you can see it. Lake Oconee, 2.995 million. And there's Alex Martin's listing. They're on the Lake Oconee. Turned out really, really good. Really well. Then back inside cover. Back inside cover. Y'all seen this before. But that's the back inside cover of the magazine. So it says your direct connection from the Lake Country to Music City, selling the Lake Country. Got a couple of QR codes that you can click those QR codes and search the different areas. But that's the back inside cover of the Brentwood Lifestyles magazine. Bam. So we are super excited about this. It just went out. Yeah, that 2-page ad turned out really, really well. Super excited about these. Super excited about, but here's the thing with print ads. Print ads are like prospecting. Print ads are like farming a neighborhood. it takes a long time, a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of tending to those areas, a lot of just staying in there and being consistent before that starts to get any traction. And just because it's simply because it's just a print ad, it's a print ad. And it just takes a minute. It's like dropping seeds in the ground. I mean, it just takes a while for that to take. But this magazine, I mean, look at some of the stuff that's in here. So this is one of the neighborhoods that are advertised this magazine. Y'all can't see this, but it's Witherspoon. Witherspoon sounds rich, but there's some giant homes in this thing. So I'm excited about where we are in this. I'm excited about us getting started in this thing. I'm pumped that we're making some inroads into Brentwood. We've got some plans. I don't know, I don't know where we are with those plans, but Christy and I have some plans to maybe look at that Williamson County area a little more, but we are where we are right now. So super excited about that. I'm going to start trying to put together some Google stuff, start trying to put together some marketing pieces and some campaigns to take advantage of that. And so that people in Brentwood, when they start searching, that they can look at like a Coney, they'll come to us, that'll be leads for y'all, and they'll be pretty good leads. So that's what we're working on. I need to work on some of that, and hopefully we'll get some really cool things going. So today, Friday, what a great day today. What a great day today to start the rest of your life. What a great day today to pull that dream or desire closer to you. What a great day to reach out and grab that rope and pull that thing closer. Did any of you, probably all of you here, most all of you here, y'all all know Coach Burt. And I'm guessing probably a lot of you follow Coach Burt on social media. Don't know if you remember him talking about this, but he has been for a long time trying to get a space in the 505 building. So the 505 building, just to give you some history about this building, was built and developed by a man named Tony G. Tony G is what they call him. I can't remember his last name right now. It's an Italian name, Giandello, something, Giordino, something. I don't remember what his name is. But Tony G developed this. He's from Atlanta, and he developed a lot of the Atlanta skyscrapers, a lot of the high-rise buildings in Atlanta. He developed a bunch of those. Well, he came to Nashville, before I met Christy, 2016, 2015, he came to Nashville and started looking at downtown and started buying up pieces of property downtown to develop property. The 505 building is one of his developments. The 505 building ended up being the tallest building, I think, in Nashville at that time. And I think they're building something taller than that now. But the 505 building, there are a bunch of residents. It's mixed use. It's like something you'd find in a large city, like not Nashville, but like tons of condos and apartments and homes inside this building. All kinds of different things, mixed use kind of building. Mirror, it's glass on all four sides. You can see all downtown Nashville. It's a beautiful building. If you ever get a chance to get a VRBO inside the 505 building, you should do it. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. Well, Coach Burt has been trying to get an office space in there for a long time. He actually rented a space in there in the 505 building this was last year, I think, year before, and he was renting out. So he rented out a space, and then he would lease out or sublet out individual spaces in there for people to have offices, kind of like those Regent and those different shared office spaces. He was doing that kind of thing in there, and we knew some people that had some spots in there. Well, he's been a dream of his was to purchase a section of the 505 building to build Greatness Factory, because his dream is to build Greatness Factories all over the world. Okay. Now, most of you who've met Coach Burt, and Coach, you'll watch this later, you hear him tell it. Coach Burt grew up in Woodbury, Tennessee, just outside of Murfreesboro. Good morning, Facebook user. I don't know who you are, so just identify yourself, please. But good morning. But Coach Burt, he grew up, was a high school coach, a high school basketball coach. He coached at Riverdale High School, which was it turned into a women's basketball powerhouse here in Middle Tennessee, especially when I was coming up. Good morning, Anna. It was a basketball powerhouse, and so he figured out how to get the most out of people. He figured out how to get the most and best out of the people that all the girls that he coached, and to the point now that he does what he does. So the reason I'm mentioning this is, I don't know if you saw this on his social media page yesterday, on his Facebook page yesterday, but he just closed on an 8,000 square foot space in the 505 building. Okay. The price per square foot in the 505 building is really, really, really high. That is some expensive Nashville real estate. The point of me saying that is not to make a point about how expensive the real estate is, but the point is me telling you this. If you look at his Facebook post, he says it's the same thing we've been talking about for the last 3 days. I'm closing on this. This is a manifestation of a dream that I had, and this is Coach Burt's words. Manifestation of a dream that I had in 2016, where I dreamed about having greatness factories all over the world, where people could find a space to get better, to uncover their dreams, to all these things, to manufacture greatness in other people. And y'all, he's tried this a couple of different spots. He had a spot in Murfreesboro that he rented out that didn't work. He had a spot in the 505 building before that didn't work. Have y'all ever done that? Have you ever had a dream? Have you ever had your dream and desire, and you felt like this is the time to move on it, and you move on it, and when you move on it, it all goes to crap. It all goes to shit. You ever had something where you start moving on a dream, you start moving on desire, it feels like the direction that you're supposed to be going, and then you look around and you're like, well, this isn't working. And you have to pull the plug on it. And you move on to the next thing. Your dream doesn't die. The desire doesn't die. Just the dream was too big for that package. The desire was too much for that container. That wasn't the direction you're supposed to be going. Because honestly, guys, sometimes all the time, your dreams are bigger than your ego can stand. Your desires are larger than you have the ability to humanly comprehend. Let me ask you a question. All of you on this call, there's 6 or 7 of you on this call right now. How many of you, by show of hands or an emoji or some kind of comment, how many of you would consider yourself a control freak? And when I say control freak, I'm using control freak just because that's the best. It's what everybody understands. How many of you like to determine the outcome of most every situation? And just like I said, raise your hand, show of hands, comment me, yes, something like that. Got one. Come on. That 2. I got 3. My point is, pretty much everybody on this call, including this one, likes to be in control of the situations. We like to control the outcomes. Okay. And I'm using Coach Burt as an example, and I wish Coach Burt was on here because I'd have him. He could talk and tell us probably better than me. Because I promise you, this is what happens with somebody like us, a high driving personality, somebody like you that likes to control the outcomes, that likes to make sure things go exactly like you want them to go. We do that from a place of ego. We do that from this little dude over here, right? This little dude over here is our ego. And this little ego thing that we have says, go do this. I get it. Go do this. It's all going to be okay. This sounds right. You can make this work. This is perfect. I mean, all the things, okay, that this little dude over here says so that you can box up your dream and desire and go do it. And then you go do it. You're in the situation, and then challenge, paying the bills, keeping the lights on, keeping people working there, keeping people coming, doing all the things you think you want that you're supposed to be doing. And all of a sudden you just kind of see this steady decline. With people like with hard chargers, with leaders, with people who want to go do things, we have to be very careful that we're not doing things out of an ego place or a place of control or a place of we're trying to control the outcome or a place that we're trying to make sure we're trying to manufacture that dream or reality into existence. We have to be really, really careful with that. Because from 2016 to 2022, when Coach Burt finally closed on that, he's been through, and he'd tell you, he's been through a bunch of different gyrations. He's been through a bunch of different evolutions of this greatness factory, trying it a couple of different ways. And you know what he found out? This is the cool thing about dreams. When you're really committed to your dream, when you're really committed to your desire, when you're really committed to bringing this thing to fruition, God doesn't let your ego get in the way. Because guess who gave you the dream and the desire in the first place? God did. He put that deep down in your spirit. God gave you that dream and desire. God put that thing inside you to go do it. And even when you let your ego, and even when you want to try to control the outcome, even when you jump out there and you're trying to manufacture an end result, even when you go do that, you can. But when it's not right, it's not right. So Coach Burt went through 2 or 3 different evolutions of this thing, but the dream never died. The dream never died. This circumstance changed, that circumstance changed, that circumstance changed, but the dream never died. So what dream or desire are you going to pull to you today? What dream or desire? I asked myself this question this morning. Do I want to ask you guys, because we've been talking about this for 2 or 3 days, do I want to ask you guys what dream or desire have you identified? What dream or desire has come as a result of these conversations? Do you have as a result of doing your own work outside of these conversations in the mornings? What dream or desire? I don't know. Well, never mind. Maybe we'll do it later. What dream or desire means so much to you that you'd never ever quit it? You'd never ever quit chasing it. You'd never ever quit pursuing it. No matter what happens, no matter what goes on, you'd never ever quit. So Carrie jumped in there and gave us one. A house on the lake with a dock or a house with acreage. Okay. So here's what I'd say to Carrie. Here's what I'm going to say to you, Carrie. I would say you need to get super, super clear on which one it is. Maybe it's both. If you feel like both, because I did that once. So way back when, it's been, 4 or 5 years ago, way back when I started really putting down and I started really getting into vision boards, I got really into kind of visioneering my vision. And that's a word Coach Burt uses, visioneering. When I got into really kind of visioneering what I wanted things to look like, I was coming from a place of lack. I was coming from a place of scarcity. I was coming from a place where there just never was enough. So the thought of me having 2 vehicles was foreign to me. The thought of having more than one vehicle is still foreign to me, quite honestly. It was foreign to me. But as I started visioneering what I wanted my life to look like and what I wanted things to look like, and I started, and my black murdered out Range Rover came up and said, "This is the vehicle that I want. This is it. This is my vehicle." Somebody said, "Well, you need a truck. You need to get a truck," and I had to sit with that for a minute. And because I came from a place of scarcity, I didn't believe that I could have both. It was either one or the other. That I had to make a choice between getting a Range Rover or getting a truck. That I could only have one. I couldn't have both. Coming from a place of scarcity. But when I sat with that for a second, I looked at the people around me. There are a lot of people around me who have more than one vehicle. They have more than one car. Hell, Bruce has got 34. He didn't have 34. He's got like 4. But there are a lot of people around me who have more than one vehicle. So I began to sit with that, and I tried, and I squared it away. I'm really good with it now. So 2 vehicles for me aren't that big a deal. So Carrie, here's the reason I'm mentioning this. Is it either or is it and? Either or and, because the way I look at it, you could live in a lake house and you could have a house with acreage, or you could live in the house with acreage and have a lake house. Don't know if you can square that away. Don't know if you can fit that and put that in your dreams, but I want you to sit with that, okay? I want you to sit with that, because we have multiple people in our company with more than one house now. Okay, we have multiple people in our company that own more than one house now. So I want you to sit with that. I want you to feel that. I want you to see, okay, if that is one or the other, or if it's both. Because if it's both, then you set your sights on that. You wrap your dream and desire around that. You wrap your intention around that. You begin to visioneer that. You begin to see that. You sit down and figure out what you want your lake house to look like, what you want your house with acreage to look like, and put that someplace. Look at it every single day, and then just start believing. You put those thoughts and emotions together and just start believing. Because I promise you, that is so easy to do. I'm telling you, for my sitting down in this chair right now, I'm telling you, owning 3 houses, owning 2 houses, owning more than one vehicle is super easy. Super easy. Super, super easy. Man, we've lost everybody here. This is supposed to be not a very good call this morning. Or either Facebook's not counting them right. But we've lost like a bunch of people this morning. So Carrie, do that. Carrie, you sit with that. You write that down. Put that into some place. Put that in a dream journal. Guys, if you don't have a book that you're writing down your dreams and desires, if you don't have a book and pages that you don't write down your dreams and desires, that you don't write down the things that you want, you're missing out. You've got to get a book. You've got to get you a journal. You've got to get something where you're going to write these things down, okay? And every 2 or 3 times a week, if you can do it every day, during your affirmations, during your meditations, during your prayer time, during your quiet time, during that time where it's just you and God, where it's just you and the entity and the being that gave you those dreams and desires, when it's just you two together, you open that up and look at those. You open that up and read those. You put you some pictures in there. You put your vision board in there. You do some things. You put some things in there, okay, that helps to bring that thing closer, that helps to pull that thing towards you. Because again, it's just attraction. You don't have to manufacture it. It just comes to you. I mean, I can use my meeting Christy. There was no way I was ever getting married again. There was no way I was ever going to, I was where I was, and I was going to be there regardless of how miserable it was, regardless of how terrible it was, regardless of this, of really, because I had pulled myself enough away from that to then start working on myself, which then was pushing me further away from her and sort of getting me into finding who I was. And the more I found who I was, for whatever reason, the more I found who I was, the worse that got. So when I met Christy, there was no way. I mean, it was complete happenstance. There wasn't any possible way on the planet that I was getting married again. But though, you know, when that intersection happens, and the hearts align, and what happens, you don't have to go look for that. So many of us try to manufacture something out of nothing. So many of us try to with our hands and our 5 senses manufacture things. All those things are temporal. All those things are are easy come, easy go, hard to get, hard to lose. When something's yours to have, when something's meant for you to have, I promise you, you just got to be in the right spot. You just got to be in the right spot. You got to be in the right spot, in the right heart condition, in the right headspace, with your eyes headed the right direction, and bam, there it is. There it is. It's happened to me over and over and over and over again, over and over and over and over again. And that's why I'm so passionate about this. Now, that's why I believe this so much, because I've seen it happen in very small things. I've seen it happen in very big things. Your dream and desire is coming. It's there. It's right there. You set your heart on it. You set your intention on it. You set your beliefs on it. It's there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's there. You just got to get in the right position. You got to get in the right mindset. You got to get in the right heart set. You got to get in the right position and do the work that's needed, work that's necessary to knock off the dust, the rust, all the things that have gotten on you as you've walked through your journey on this planet. You got to get that stuff knocked off so that you're in the right position to see it, so that you're in the right position to accept it. Because when it comes, when it shows up, you got to be in the right spot. You got to be in the right place. When it shows up, you got to be ready for it. Ask and ye shall receive. Ask and ye shall receive. It says that in a Bible, in the Bible, in the inspired word. It says, ask and ye shall receive. I'm not a Torah scholar. I don't know anything about the Quran. I don't know anything about other religious texts, the Book of Mormon. I don't know anything about the other religious texts. But I'd almost bet you that there's a version of that. Ask and ye shall receive. There's a version of that in every religious text on this planet. That every single human who received a vision from God, who received a vision from above, who then took that vision, wrote that vision into a book, started talking about that vision to other people, who then turned those other people into a movement, into a religion, into a following. If it's God and divinely inspired, I promise you there is a version of ask and ye shall receive. You have not because you ask not. There's a version of that. So if you believe the words that are in that thing are true, then why don't you believe that? Why don't you believe, Carrie, that you can have a lake house and a house with acreage? Why don't you believe, Aaron, that you can have a murdered out Range Rover and a pickup truck? Why don't you believe, Jagger, that you can play in the NHL? Why don't you believe, Cade, that you can go play volleyball in college? Why don't you believe, Brooke, that you can go make $300,000 a year? Why don't you believe, Lynn, that you can go do X, that you can change the world, that you could lead a movement of, you could be the Harriet Tubman of addiction? Why don't you believe those things? And when I say believe, I don't mean think it. I don't mean just think it's possible. I mean believe it. I mean believe it to the point that you can immerse yourself in what it smells like, that you can immerse yourself in how those leather seats feel, that you can immerse yourself how it feels when you're driving down the lake in your new boat. I don't care if you got to be able to sit on that horse and feel that, and look at that horse in the eye, feel what that saddle feels like under your butt, feel what it feels like when he starts to gallop. You got to be able to immerse yourself in the belief. Today, Friday, July the 29th, we are 2 days away from August. We're 152 days from the end of the year. 152 days from the end of the year. Are you thriving? Are you struggling? Are you moving towards your goal? Are you moving away from your goal? Are you getting closer to your dream? Are you working on your dream? Are you working on your desires? Or are you just existing? Are you getting up every day and wandering through your day? Are you like most of the general population who's over 35, who 85% of their life is an habitual pattern? Are you going through your life doing the same thing every single day? Or are you gonna take control of your day? Are you gonna manufacture what your days look like? Are you going to sit down and intentionally design your day? Because I promise y'all, we're getting into a time, all you parents, we're getting into a time where what's amazing, this is what's so amazing to me. Boy, stop. I'll get to you in a second. I'm not done. Sorry, Cooper's like bumping my elbow like, Dad, I'm ready to go. Y'all realize anything can be an excuse. If it means something to you, you'll do it. These calls, okay? We started these calls back in November. Gained a lot of momentum. There was a lot of traction. People were interested. People were jumping on here. It was really, really fun. And then somehow, somewhere in February, March-ish time frame, interest started to decline. We went from having 20, 25 people on the call thinking, gosh, let's just keep going. And because it's really getting some momentum, the momentum started going the other way. Don't know why. It is what it is. We've got our core, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 now that stay with us. Don't know why. Either people don't want to get up early in the morning. People don't want to. My point is, you do what means something to you, and you'll move heaven and earth if it means enough to you. And the reason I bring this up is we live in a world of excuse making. We live in a world of I can find all these other reasons to justify why I did or didn't do whatever it is I did or didn't do. I can find all kinds of reasons why I don't go to meetings. I can find all kinds of reasons why I drink liquor. I can justify all kinds of reasons why I do X, Y, or Z. At the same time, our sales meetings are the same way. The Madison sales meeting, I mean, we got to the point we were having 25, 30 people. We didn't have enough chairs in the room for everybody. And now it's just kind of like, not a big deal. If I go, I go. If I don't, I don't. The people that were going to the Madison sales meeting consistently are the same people whose businesses were doing this. They're the same people whose businesses were skyrocketing. They're the same people who saw their incomes go from here to here. Those are the same people that go to that Madison meeting consistently, that are going out and buying beach houses and doing that stuff. So I'm not sure why this is in my spirit right now. Why I'm mentioning to you guys. Yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of trying to struggle with the words here to pull this feeling out of my spirit. We live in a world of excuses. We live in a world of justification. We live in a world of entitlement. We live in a world of get something for nothing. That's the world we live in. I'm 50. We've got agents that are in their 20s, agents in their 30s, agents in their 40s, agents in their 50s, agents in their 60s. Yeah. But the younger they get, the more the excuses play into this. Okay. It's about to get really busy for all you parents of young children. My life is about to change in about 2 weeks. When Jagger starts, I mean, hockey never really stops. But when hockey starts back, that's practice 3 nights a week. That's out-of-town travel starting in October or September. That is full bore fall. You guys are getting up now in the morning to make sure kids get to school. Kids are eating breakfast. Kids are dressed. Teeth are brushed. They might wake up throwing up. They might wake up sick. Can't take them to school. Now they're staying home. I've heard from too many people over the last month or so that, oh, it's summertime. I got my kids home, or I can't make it to this because I got this and I got that. If it means something to you, you'll do it. And when you don't do it, it's an obvious indication that other things, it doesn't mean enough to you. So here's what I'm going to tell all you on this call, Carrie and Alex and Anna and Lynn, and you guys have peer level influence on the people around you. You're leaders of the peers that are around you. And some of you are on the leadership council. Some of you are in a group that we brought together to help direct Christy and I to make sure that what we're doing, the message that we have, the what we're offering is not old and stale, but it's fresh and new. So I, Aaron Dwyer, as co-owner of Exit Realty Lake Country, I want to make sure and ask that Carrie and Alex and Anna and Lynn, that all you guys, Brooke, y'all get together. I mean, if we're doing something or not doing something that needs to be done, if we're doing something or not doing something that is helping to hinder, it's causing this hindrance, I want to make sure that we're fresh new. I want to make sure that Exit Realty Lake Country continues this trajectory. I've got to make sure that there aren't any holes in the boat. I got to make sure that the engine's running correctly, and the things that I can't see that maybe you can see, the things that we aren't aware of that maybe you hear or that you are aware of, I want to know. Okay. We've got too many good things happening in this company. We have too many good things going on. We have too much momentum heading in the right direction to let a little leak, to let a little drag, to let a little thing on the side keep us from reaching our destination, keep you from reaching your destination. If you're driving down the road and I saw somebody's arm hanging out of your trunk, I would pull up beside you in the car and I'd honk my horn at you and I'd say, hey, look, you have a dead body in your trunk. If I saw that you had a flat tire on the back, your back passenger side, and maybe you didn't feel it, I would pull up and I would honk my horn and I'd maybe tell you, hey, you got a flat back here. If you had a tree hanging under your car, somebody would stop you and say, hey, you have a tree that you've run over that you're dragging down the road. I need that. Christy and I need you guys to help us understand what it is that we're dragging behind us, what's going on and what's happening, why this momentum feels like it may be kind of slowing. And maybe it's nothing. Maybe I'm making a bigger deal out of it than it is. But you guys are leaders. Okay, you guys are peer level leaders. You guys can bring people into this thing and get information from folks that maybe they won't share with us. But I want to continue our momentum. I want to continue going the direction we are going. I want every single day this company is growing forward. This company is moving in the direction of forward. This company is moving in the direction of being that light on a hill on top of a mountain. And guys, it's the little things done consistently over time that make the biggest impact. Both ways, bad and good. Bad and good. And I'm gonna finish with this. And Carrie will love this. This is a baseball reference. When somebody's in a slump, when a hitter's in a slump, and a hitter's and a hitter can't seem to get a ground ball to go through the hole, and they're 0 for May, and they just can't get a base hit anywhere. Do you know what they do? Carrie, I know Carrie's a huge baseball fan, so I'm gonna ask Carrie. I'm gonna put Carrie on the spot. If a hitter's in a slump, okay, what typically is the first thing the hitter does? Maybe I didn't ask that question the right way. Don't worry about it, Carrie. I'm gonna go. Typically, if a hitter's in a slump, the hitter goes back to basics. The hitter goes into the cage. I found an ugly girl. That's funny. That's a Bull Durham reference. That's pretty good. Very nice. Typically, if a hitter's in a slump, they go into the cage. They go back to basics. They put a ball on a tee. in a cage with somebody watching them, or maybe a video, and they swing. And they swing off this tee, hit a ball off the tee. They hit the ball off the tee. They hit the ball off the tee. They'll watch the video. They're back to basics. They're back to doing it like they did it when they were 6. They go back to the basic fundamentals of hitting to see and watch this video. They have some input. They have some outside input that says to them, hey, you're dropping your right shoulder too much when you get to the ball. Hey, you're pivoting your right foot too much right before you shift your weight. Hey, you're taking you're shifting your weight back and you're dropping your left elbow. You have an outside set of eyes that see what you're doing, because once you've been doing something for so long, it becomes a habit. And the habit feels right. The habit feels right. Even though the results are wrong, even though it's frustrating to see the results that are happening, the habit feels correct. So I'm going to challenge you. Are you in a habitual pattern of behavior right now? Are you in I don't want you to go find you a slump buster. I don't want you to go find you an ugly dude or an ugly girl. But I want you, if you feel like you're in a rut, if you feel like you're in a rut is nothing more than a habitual pattern of behavior that's not moving you forward. A rut is nothing more than a habitual pattern of behavior where you're not moving forward. You're just stuck. Your wheels, think about a rut, your wheels are just spinning. You're in a habitual pattern of behavior where your wheels are just spinning and you're making no forward progress. That is a slump. That is a rut. I'm about to lose my battery, so I'm going to go real, really fast. If you right now, and maybe I'm feeling this, and maybe I'm saying this to me, and maybe I'll watch this later, and I'm going to go, oh my God, that Aaron, you were speaking to you. If you feel like you're in a spinning wheels pattern, if you feel like you're in a habitual pattern of behavior that's not moving you forward, go back to your basics. Go back to the basics. Go back to the simple things. Go back to prospecting. Go back to neighborhood comps. Go back to learning numbers. Go back to reading your Bible. Go back to going on a date with your husband. Go back to simple, easy, basic things, little things that don't make a significant impact at the time. Go back to your basics. Go put a ball on the tee. Back when you were 8 years old playing t-ball, 6 years old when you're playing t-ball, put the ball on the tee and just make some swings. Get on the phone, make a few phone calls. Go have a conversation. Practice running comps. Do a listing presentation with an accountability partner. Do a buyer presentation with an accountability partner. Go back to your basics. I don't want to be in a slump. I don't want to be in a rut. I don't want to be that way. My phone's about to die. So you guys that are on this call, if there's something that you see, something you feel, something that you perceive, where I'm not maybe getting my right arm into the ball, maybe I'm not getting my hip turn into the ball, and you find a hole in my swing, a hole in our swing, a hole in Christy and I's business, a hole in what we do and how we do it, please let us know. Please let us know. It's Friday. It's a beautiful day. It's raining like crazy in Nashville right now, but I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. Okay. We love you guys. Love you guys so much. Be good. Be great. Be you. Give me some feedback. Bye, y'all. Y'all have a great day. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.